Cool. We got a few people on. We're talking about there was some rave in a glacier. Mm-hmm. We want to do a massive party at the Arctic Circle called Freezing Man.
I like the idea of not burning something.
Yeah, no, forget about burning or destroying anything. Everyone creates their art, and it stays there. So it's not going to be burned or removed. It's like art that's created and it stays there.
Yeah, so energetically, it's not like you're exhausting it and then like burning it into something that's not here.
Yeah.
You're actually, you feel intrinsic to its power, so it needs to stay around.
It stays around. It's actually a gift of art to the world.
It's a lot deeper than just, the surface words.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's...
Chervin 333 right here. David Avocado Wolfe over here. We're going to be talking to you about Peru. We just got off the phone with Peru. That was an epic conversation.
Dude, it's unbelievable. Every time I reconnect with those brothers, those South African brothers. So we got a tribe down there that I actually met through David last time I was in Peru. These guys are wonderful. They have their own spot in Cusco, and they do plant medicine ceremonies. They're really connected to the ethos of the energies of, the mountainous areas of Peru. Not the jungle areas, but, Cusco, Urubamba,
Andes.
Machu Picchu, the Andes. And I met them through David a couple of years back. I had a great time, and I've stayed connected with them. They're on the path. They're connected. They're fully entrenched in the Peruvian culture. And they basically align themselves with all the shamans down there, everyone that's really speaking the language of understanding what it's all about to be part of that culture. And what's happening right now, they're a long time coming, but go ahead.
Okay, well, anyway, they're twin brothers, and they're both married to Peruvian women. And they both have kids, that are...
They're South African,
They're South African originally. And when they were about 5 years old, their mom basically grabbed them and was like, hey, we're moving to Cusco, Peru from Johannesburg. And she was just like, we're just doing it. And they just did it and toughed it out. Great people. Anyway.
And their mom is... let me just add up to that. Their mom's a total angel. And I just ran into her next to my house about 6 weeks ago. Can you believe that?
Right around here?
Right around here.
What's she doing?
So a friend of mine recommended to another friend that come meet me. And so he actually hit me up and he said, hey, I've heard a lot about you. And he came from a close friend. So I was like, okay, come over to the house. I woke up at 7 o'clock on the rise. This guy drove down from Los Angeles, 2 hours away. I woke up. He was laying in the San Pedro garden right behind me. Can you see that?
I don't know if they can see that. Can you guys see that right there? This is all the San Pedro cactus, the Peruvian cactus, Peruvian torch.
And the first thing he tells me is that he came down this way, not only to see me, but to be in a Wachuma ceremony. Comes in the house, we start talking about terpenes, cannabinoids, we start talking about health. He did a little background on me before he got here, so he kind of knew my language a little bit. Really, really nice guy. All of a sudden, I ask you,
Crazy.
Who are you doing a ceremony with? He's like some gal named Leslie. I said, what? He said, Leslie.
Right here in the neighborhood.
Right here. Fallbrook.
Unbelievable.
So I followed him, surprised her. She went berserk.
So you showed up?
I showed up. I have a photo with her.
Dude, you didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you this?
Never heard this.
I told somebody.
Never heard this.
Okay, well, anyways, long story short, this is her kids.
Yeah, her sons.
And let's lay it on to them what's happening. This is a long time coming.
Okay, so as you know, I've been doing retreats in Peru since 2005, and lots of them with Leslie and Mark and Simon and all our friends down there. And we got a really awesome connection of crew down there. Anyway, the retreat we're going to do, it's April 24th through May 3rd, was sold out. It's been sold out for a while. This is coming up 2020. And so I've been talking to Chervin. He's like, I've got a lot of people who want to come to Peru, a lot of people interested in Peru. And I said, well, let's see if we can fit another one in. So we looked at April 11th through 20th.
April 11th
2020.
So April 11th to 4/20. We're going to go all in.
I didn't get that 420 thing.
Yeah.
That worked out like that, huh?
To perfection.
Perfection.
Yeah, to 420.
Anyway, we've got that. We're going to do another retreat because, again, mine sold out, so we're going to do another one.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in that retreat, it's journeyperu2020@gmail. Send your inquiry into that. Not anybody can sign up. I've been through this so many times. I see some people commenting, yay. welcome everybody. The plant-based comedian is with us.
Dude.
Please follow this guy. This guy's the best comedian on earth, and he's plant-based. And his plant-based Trump is incredible. And believe me,
Believe me.
a lot. China. Anyway, so Journey Peru 2020. If you're interested in that one, Journey Peru 2020 at Gmail. Send us an email and that inquiry. We'd be happy to look at getting you down there with us.
I'd like to say this is most of the people that know me, my audience that knows what I'm doing, what I'm up to, knows what I'm all about. This is the first time that I'm ever doing a retreat. I just don't do them. It's just not something I've ever been into. I don't like to manage people. I don't like to do any of that stuff. This is different. I'm doing it with my mentor, my cousin, and I've been going through a lot over the last several years, and there's been a lot coming out of my heart into my mind. This is a whole different escape level of what we're going to experience here while really grounding into our inner truth. We're going to take the lifestyle of, basically the indigenous, combine it with what we know technology-wise, biology-wise, pharmacology-wise, health-wise, nutrition-wise, energetically-wise, where we are in this universe, cosmology, cosmography, all of those things, and we're going to bring it full center. And it's going to be just basically a balanced ecosystem of thought-provoking ideas and concepts that take you out of the social conditioning that you might be caught up into. And that's the main question I get every day is, what do I do differently? How do I feel differently, Chervin? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I, this and that? That's what this trip's going to be all about.
That's a great question, by the way. And a big way to change that is what you're hinting at, which is breaking the social conditioning.
Yep.
The social conditioning, I grew up with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was always think different. He even came up with a logo with a little apple on it, said think different on it. This system that we're in does not want you thinking different. I can tell you that for sure. You try to think different, they're like, get back in the box. What I love about this trip is you're getting out of the box.
Absolutely.
You're getting out of the box in thought, mind, and deed, in heart and soul.
Yeah, you really don't have an option. So to reverse engineer it, we're really only wanting or allowing, and that's not an ego thing. It's just our energy is important, just like your energy is important, and the container and the ethos that we're going to be containing is really important. So everyone that's going to be selected to come on this trip with us, we expect you to be doing the work. We expect you to be on the path. We expect you to have the discipline. We expect you to be able to
take risks and have courage, because we will line up some incredible stuff. I guarantee you that. And it's stuff that will test you. It's stuff that even all these years tests me every time. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this, and you got to step forward with trust and courage. And again, that email is Journey Peru, JOURNEY, Peru, PERU 2020 at gmail.com. Send us your inquiries.
Let's give them kind of an idea of like what it looks like. So This is a snapshot, cursory review of what we're going to be doing to a certain extent. There's going to be a lot more details that are going to be announced. But ultimately, this isn't a jungle trip. It's more of it's up
in the Andes. A lot of you are familiar with drinking ayahuasca in the Amazon or things like that. And that's great and a lot of fun and really an amazing adventure. This is a different vibration completely because you're up in the Andes. And so generally, from my experience traveling the world, I find that the healthiest people in the world live in the Andes. You've regularly run into women who have children in their 50s. I have a very good friend of mine who had a baby at 51, healthy child. That baby's 10 years old now.
Wow.
She's 10 years old. That's how quick that time went by. Anyway, so this is a place where, the health in general of the people is very high. And these people that we hang out with are the Pacos, the shamans. They are living right underneath a glacier. And so they have this wonderful connection not only to the mountains, or the Apus as they call them, but also to the power of the glacier and the purity of the water that flows out of it. All right, look what we got here. Look at what just came into the scene.
All right, that was from our brother.
Thank you, Doug Marshall.
This was actually gifted to me by Paul Check, who's a neighbor of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was gifted to me.
Cool.
He knew that I was about to go through a harvest. This is the Wachuma cactus. This right here.
That's the Peruvian torch.
The Peruvian torch, Peruvian superheroes, Peruvian agility, Peruvian how you can basically, storm a mountaintop on the edges and feel comfortable.
Goat style.
Right? Goat style. That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. So this right here, we have an interesting story about this cactus. I think it was you. You chopped one once and left it in a closet for 2.5 days.
2.5 years.
2.5 years, excuse me. I'm sorry. 2.5 years. And opened it up, and it was flowering?
It was still alive. It wasn't flowering. It was growing. It was still alive. This stuff is completely amazing. When you get into these interesting shamanic plants of these great cultures, like the Andean culture brings us this particular plant right here, and then some of the interesting experiences over the years. Like I was bringing it over to a friend's house, and I was planting it for him because it's a protector of your home. You want the San Pedro trichoceros cactus around your house.
Of that?
Yeah, I think everyone can see that. If you move your chair, you guys see those cacti right there? Like that one, yeah.
You see all this?
Protector of the home.
So I have this facing west, and it's guardian. It's the grandfather. This is the abuelito. This is the energy that puts you on its lap and says, hey, you know what? Everything's okay. Everything is fine. Just connect to the heart space, and you're going to make it through it. Not really like Aya, where it's, it's like if you lie to me, you're screwed.
Yeah, no, this cactus heals you through fun and adventure and recreation. And the interesting thing about it is it has some interesting properties that are phenomenal. For example, I had a whole bunch that I was bringing over to a friend's place.
Dude, Sammy in a box. Just joined in. She's in Cusco right now.
Oh, right on.
Just had to throw that in there. Go ahead.
And I threw a couple in a box, and then I threw them up on a shelf, and I forgot about it because I was going to plant them, and then I just got distracted, and then a couple of years had passed by, and I was like, what's that box doing up there? I better just, something told me, like, look in that box. So I pulled it off the top of this cabinet, opened it up, and there was 2 San Pedro cactuses, 2 of these in there, and one of them was still alive and growing.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
Growing.
You seen the one in my room, right?
Yeah.
That's shooting up like that?
Yep.
Crazy.
This is a great cactus to grow indoors because if you travel like I do and things don't get watered, it will still keep growing. It's just incredible.
The reason why we're bringing it up is because where we're going, this is where this is from.
And this is what we're going to be eating.
Yeah, we're
actually going to be eating that on the retreat.
Probably throughout the trip. We're going to have probably two specific days where we're going to be dropping in almost shamanic or heroic style, but ultimately we're going to be snacking on this delicate cactus the whole trip, and it will be quite the trip. And I'm really excited to get down there and really do this the right way. There's a lot.
Let's talk about what we're going to do. We're going to get everyone down there, get everybody organized and in the location where we're going to be, and then we're going to work our way to Machu Picchu. We're going to spend 3 days over there, and so that's
we just decided that we needed longer than a day at Machu Picchu.
Everyone goes for a day. You don't want to go for a day. You go for 2 full days. All right, look, Christy's with us. We got everybody with us.
Everybody's on. Wow, look at that.
Welcome, everybody. I'm David Avocado Wolfe. This is my cousin, Chervin. We're talking about Peru, and we're heading there. This is on our minds. It wasn't our plan to talk about this, but we were just on the phone with Peru, and we just organized another retreat down there. My retreat in May, it's actually April 24th to May 3rd is sold out. So we're like, hey, maybe we should do one. And I was like, hey, just talk to your audience, see if they're interested. And we found that there was a lot of interest. And so we called Peru today, and it's April 11th through 20th is going to be that retreat. You know what I want to get? Because I wanted to actually talk about some other things, and let's get into some nutrition stuff.
100%.
Give them the download on journeyperu2020 at Gmail, and then a little bit about your experiences with Machu Picchu.
Before you go, do we want them to just, if they're interested, just to shoot an email?
Yeah.
All right, so if you're interested,
I'm going to go get my enzymes.
Seriously interested in doing this, and again, this is going to be extremely limited. This isn't a 100-person trip. This is pretty much a once in a lifetime. I don't do retreats. You guys, I'm looking at my people right now that know me. I mean, I probably get 20 messages a day for the last 3-4 years for people wanting to do some type of excursion with me or anything. I don't do it. It's just not something I'm bred to do. But this with him, because he's got so much experience with it, and he's got the basic, the dynamics already in place with the people down in Peru, it just made sense. And it will allow me to be in full expression where I'm not worried about logistics or anything like that. And I've already done this. I've already experienced this. So we're going to go all the way. This is beyond just a basic Peruvian trip. This is getting into all of the esoteric knowledge all of the occult knowledge, everything that's hidden. We're going to go deep into Rudolf Steiner. We're going to go deep into sacred geometry, beyond the meme that you're seeing on Instagram. I'm talking about real, intrinsic understanding of what we're doing here, why we're doing here, and why it makes sense. We're going to bring out what our experience is, and we're going to delve on all of those topics. And we're going to bring you into those topics.
And then we'll be in the middle of the most profound mystery you've ever seen.
Ever.
It's like the Great Pyramids, like Sacsayhuaman, Peru, Machu Picchu. I'll show you things at Machu Picchu that you've never even heard of. That doesn't exist in books. It's never talked about. We'll be hiking on a trail and be like, look at this. Look at this section of look at this rock formation right here.
I looked at you and I was like, how the heck could they stack this laser cut stone? And I've been in construction. I know real estate development.
Right. There's
no way.
It's just,
they can't even do it today.
It'll baffle you.
So that energy where there's like a glitch in the matrix where you realize that, wait a second, all of a sudden everything that I learned in school, everything that I see on TV, all of the materialism and the scientism and the fake matrix that we're caught up in.
The fake history,
all illusions will basically, you will force you into a mindset where you have to snap out of that, and all of a sudden all your centers are open, your heart's connected to your mind, and now you're ready to accept everything. And then we throw health, nutrition, wellness, and the top, detox processes of all time on top of that. So we're hitting it on all level. And then let me just say this, we're gonna fucking laugh the whole time. So me and him, when we get together, I fracture ribs. I usually have to go see a specialist or a chiropractor after I see him. Same thing with my brother Doug. I laughed so much that it hurts. That's why I really build a strong core. That's why you see me doing a lot of like sit-ups and ab work, you know what I mean? Because I know that I'm going to be laughing my fucking ass off. So we're going to go berserk in full oxytocin laughter with dimethyltryptamines popping up all over the seams.
Quick commercial break. Here comes a quick commercial break. New enzymes are out. Finally, this has been 15 years, I think, since I designed an enzyme, longer than that. So that's my new enzyme, longevity enzymes. Here, check this out. Haha. I'll put this on yours, Chervin.
Enzymes are critical. Most of us are not really operating in full potential of our hydrochloric acid.
Boom.
I mean, we're basically, what are all the autoimmune issues? It's just things that are just getting stuck to the stomach wall, not getting digested, then hitting the bloodstream, then the body's fighting it. These kinds of things are breaking it down so you can be efficient, so you're not dealing with war on war. No more civil war. That's what they want. We're getting out of that miasm, out of that illusion. Enzymes are important.
And enzymes, let me tell you about these enzymes. They're designed to be taken with food and without food and in between food. Oh, yay, April Sweet Mama's with us. Yay.
Dude, April Sweet Mama will be sitting right here next Sunday before my flight to Hawaii. How trippy is that?
We're headed to Hawaii. That's another thing too we want to talk to you guys about. But in the meantime, look at that, longevity enzymes. Finally, it's been a long time, 15 years since I did an enzyme product. Finally got the new one out. DavidWolfe.com. It's there. Okay, so let's talk about Hawaii.
So I think that's pretty much it for Peru.
Yep.
There's so much more to come. This is just a spur of the moment.
Today was the day we put it together.
I'm super busy right now. You know my lifestyle. Cymbiotika right now is on fire. There's so many things happening. Cymbiotika is a lifestyle. It's not a product company. It's getting you really involved, getting the research and knowledge and information and bringing you into the core of a family that really cares. Everybody's asking me, how come I don't have 100 products out on the line yet? Because it's taken a long time. I'm not white labeling. I'm not slapping my face on other things. No way. I'm doing the work. I'm flying to other continents to make sure the sourcing is to perfection. I'm giving vegetarians and vegans an answer to deficiencies because of a demineralized world. We live in a demineralized world because our soils are dilapidated.
This is interesting. There's somebody here that says, raising our growing tribe. She says, after my pregnancy, I'm going to get on these. I'll tell you, you should get on DHA now while you're pregnant.
Get it from David.
Yeah, let me just show you his product, DHA. This is the most important product for pregnancy. Thank you, Doug Marshall. Look at that. This is the product right there. That's the DHA. That's the Cymbiotika. You guys there know Chervin's product. Anyway, this product for brain development, for nervous system development, This is important. How much? Geez, this thing's empty.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
this
a
one's
long
done.
one. Yeah.
But anyway, you get the idea. This product right here is the most important vegan product for pregnancy. Normally, we're getting this from fish oil. Okay, let's see if somebody says, can these supplements help me get off alcohol? Seems like one of the worst drugs. Alcohol is definitely one of the worst drugs. And as a general rule, eating more vegetables, getting more alkaline, and getting hydrated and getting away from sugar that does, the alcohol sugar connection, the ups and downs, blood sugar wise, that's how you're going to stabilize yourself. So you want to do the AA process and, get some support and help. But at the same time, you got to eat right. Normally AA people, they go right from like alcohol to coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah,
and
just a crutch.
It's just another, it's another thing. It's a replacement kind of. It's just better to get your nutrition sorted out by eating plant-based, having a salad every meal, drinking green vegetable juice, making sure you have the right supplement program and superfoods program, mostly alkaline superfoods, green superfoods, and that will get you going.
We're going to get into the esoteric Egyptian meaning behind all of the common mainstream drugs that are out there today, including alcohol, and really understand why alcohol has become such a mainstream popular item and what the problems are with it, and how alcohol is actually beneficial to a certain extent. It's all about knowledge and experience and awareness. The more you know, the more you can govern your own faculties. That's an old Rudolf Steiner, philosophy, is that the more super sensible knowledge that you have, the more information to have, the more you're running less on ego that's been devised by a program, the more you can comprehend everything around you.
That was actually one of the things we wanted to talk about on this call was increasing awareness.
Yes.
By eating better, right? So, I've been eating so many different wild herbs. I hunt wild herbs every day when I'm at home. I mean, I'm at his house now, but even here we're going out into the canyon finding stuff. And so basically the wider variety in your diet, the different thoughts that come alive in you because you have different information sources coming in. This is really a critical thing. If you look at the system, they want you on their canned soda pop. They want you on their sugar. They want you on their factory farmed meat. The same things, usually cow, and then factory farmed chicken. That kind of stuff. And what it does, it disturbs your consciousness and gets you into the box. Of course, we want to get out of that box to reinvent ourselves and really reinvent a new life.
And let's also be super hyper intelligent, because we're dealing with a system that's extremely intelligent and also strategic.
And sophisticated.
Very sophisticated.
They're planning.
They're aware of what's going on. They are aware that there's a movement. They are aware that there's a revolution in health. They are aware that there's education and information in social media and the internet. And so what they're doing is they're hiding themselves within the trends to continue to monopolize. So a lot of the products that you're seeing out today that are mainstream, that say that promise you that they're non-GMO or they're organic or anything like that.
Oh, cool. John Asraf just joined us.
Don't just fall for that. These things matter. Your brain matters. Your blood matters. Your endocrine system matters.
You matter.
You matter.
And you matter.
And if you're not running, functioning, and optimum space, that causes a worldwide phenomenal problem. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yep, exactly.
Everybody's running in pain, deficiency, and they're reaching for things that to fill the void.
To fill the void. And also then there's another thing that we come across a lot, especially in social media, about people being stuck in their lives or stuck in a certain pattern or, my God, how am I going to get from A to B to C to D, and how am I going to transition my life? How am I going to get into what I love to do? It's very important, absolutely critical to be healthy and eat right.
Yep.
Right? And take their appropriate supplements for you. So what does that look like? Well, the main thing that's been discovered over the last 100 years is that the more plant-based you are, first of all, you're adding a diversity of plants into your diet. Yep. What a great thing. The more organic that you are, so less chemicals coming in, good for your consciousness, good for your soul.
The more that you know who's growing your food, the better. I know that it's easier said than done, but it's so important to source where you're supporting. And I always talk about this. I mean, every single time I'm talking about when it comes to nutrition and wellness is that we've lost our way. We've forgotten what we've forgotten. We used to have a direct relationship with the food that we ate 100 years ago. That's not a long time ago.
Like
here's apples growing right here. We used to have a direct relationship to the food that we eat 100 years ago. Maybe about 95% of the population, either they grew it themselves or their cousin down the street grew it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's less than a quarter of 1%. That's scary. Not only does that mean that we're not eating mineralized food and food that we care about and food that we trust, that means that our heart and soul is not in the earth anymore.
Right.
And one conglomerate that's, running around like a chicken with their head cut off, destroying everything in its path, right, is now governing our reality and governing the food that we're using to replicate cells in our body, which is basically who we are.
And pushing also through media deception, that's an important point, is like, some of these ideas that we have in our mind are ideas about reality have been driven through education agendas by giant corporations that don't have your best interest in mind.
At all.
That's such an important point, because when we're talking about reprogramming ourselves and getting out of the matrix and doing that with the help of fresh food and healthy food and a broad spectrum of food and plants and herbs and superfoods
and minerals
and the appropriate supplements, DHA, enzymes,
and nature. Knowing how our bodies are a direct reflection of our circadian rhythm, our cosmology, our connection to the earth. We're already in a concrete jungle. So the fact that we're in a concrete jungle and living in an EMF bed frequency wave, we might as well eat well. Jesus, for God's sakes. It's like we're getting rocked on every level. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Electromagnetic frequencies, radiation, polluted water, toxins in the air, toxins in the soil, pharmaceutical drugs, recreational drugs, psychology war on television, psychology war in schools. I mean, fear, anxiety, indoctrination on every single level.
It's full
on every level.
Let's see. We get some comments on this one.
So the least you can do is you can put the food in your mouth that at least will help alleviate 2% of it.
At least help yourself. It is gnarly. I mean, like in this house here, where we are, there's no Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi in this house because
tell them about the sanctuary.
It's EMF. It's EMF friendly, which means that like even the phones, we keep the phones over there. I should. You know what? Show my setup that I've got here. Do you want to spin your thing around here? I'll show.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. See this little. Watch. I'm going to show you guys. This is Chervin's little group right here. So we're going to look at this. See my setup right there. See what I got? I don't have to hold my phone because I've got a tripod. See that tripod right there? That's holding my phone up. All these little key life hacks, I've had to work out over the years because the system that we're in, again, does not have your best health and interest in mind. It doesn't. It's working against you being able to think independently. What we're here to do is get you to think differently, to think outside the box, to get you to be able to recreate yourself anew. Yes. Unless you consider nutrition and food, that job is impossible. It really is, especially today, because the toxins in the food, the air, the water, everywhere. The struggle is so much more difficult and so much more easier when you eat well. Now, let's talk about eating well. You got to make sure you get your sprouts. You got to make sure you get your salads. You got to make sure they're organic. You got to eat your fruits. We had a wonderful amount. I mean, we ate so many grapes today. It was outrageous.
Yeah, we went to the farmer's market and had a great time. And which is another good thing is activating yourself around people that are on the same wavelength, that are on the same vibration. We ate a bunch of good fruit. Yep. We had a bunch of good laughs. These things are, this is what life's all about. It was interesting. I was thinking to myself as we were walking through this farmer's market, 10 years ago, I was at a pool party somewhere going berserk. And then, you know what I mean? Like in my early 20s.
Yes.
Right? And now what it's a good time for me is connecting with like-minded individuals that get it. That care about their bodies, that care about their minds, that care about their souls.
And care about the earth.
And ultimately, if you don't care about self, you don't care about anything around you. It's almost impossible. You can fake like you do. You can act like it, but it's not real. It's not authentic. So all we're saying is use discernment. And look, here's the deal. If you're
Discernment's
listening to us,
very good term, by the way.
If you're listening to us right now, if you're on this right now, that means that you're in the field. There's a reason why you're on here right now, and 7.8 billion other people aren't. Okay, let's just call it what it is. So you're here right now. That means that you're in. That means your intuition brought you here. Okay? This is important. Nothing is random. The fact that we're sitting here in paradise talking to you on these microwave technologies, and you can see our face and hear the nuances of our voices and get a cymatic resonance through the brain and through the ear, that's amazing.
It really is.
So nothing is chance. So you have to grasp onto that. You have to feel into that. And that empowers you to be able to be the best version of yourself. And I don't mean that in a motivational way. I don't even like that word motivation. I mean in real, like, Christ conscious, inspirational code movement way, where you are independent and sovereign, where nothing is governing anything that you're doing. All your faculties you own. Nothing outside of you is telling you how to eat, think, read, sleep, any of that stuff.
That's a tall order. We're always battling that every day, right? Because the programming is real and intense.
Yes, it is.
Right?
And they don't want you to think it's real.
They don't want.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. And actually, I think most of this group right here is conscious enough to realize that when you look out there in the population, and people drinking soda pop and alcohol and whatever it is, it's all they got programmed when they were young. And then that program is still running, and it's running the whole show. And what we're talking about is regaining sovereignty. Another thing I want to say about healthy food is that there is a whole category of food that doesn't get its just due, which is herbs and herbalism and the importance of the super herbs. You can't just eat sprouts and lettuce and have your favorite protein or whatever and just go, okay, it's all going to be the best ever, because the herbalism rounds out the extent of your awareness, right? Just in this ecosystem right here, there's at least 40 great medicinal herbs right here.
All over here, growing all around the property. And for a reason.
And it's all here for a reason. It's actually part of our food. It's part of our diet. But we got so far into, no, that herb, I don't need to take that. It's antibiotics. I got little white pills or, doctor pills or something. No. The herbalism stays. I've got a gal right now who's doing one of our detoxes, and she's been on our Remove Unwanted Guest product. By the way, boom, new product out. My new longevity enzymes are out there. They are available at shop.davidwolfe.com. But one of the products it's been my best-selling product, actually, has been our Remove Unwanted Guest product.
Nice.
Listen to this. This woman raised dogs for years and animals. Remove Unwanted Guests, which is a herbal product to get the critters out, if you know what I'm saying, like
parasites, which I just did. All my viewers just saw me do a huge live on parasites, which are basically governing every thought, every choice. If you get sugar, if you get a craving like a sweet tooth, like all of a sudden you got to go berserk on eating something sweet, whether it's
not you,
starch.
It's not you.
It's a creature living inside of you.
That's demand. Like Candida wants that sugar. Yeah. Candida will take over your mind. Go, sugar. We need that sugar. It's not you. That's important. So this woman, she's been sending me messages to my phone. She's gotten out hundreds of worms. Hundreds.
Think about that.
Just think about
visual worms.
No, just think about how the whole system is even telling you that doesn't even exist. One of the gals who's also in that chat is like, I wonder why the system doesn't tell us that this is even existing.
Crazy. Well, I can tell you why it's not existing.
We know why.
Yeah, because the parasites play into their whole business model.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
So anyway, this is my cousin Chervin. I'm David Avocado Wolfe.
This is my cousin David Avocado Wolfe. You might recognize him. He's a total berserker. This guy's been giving his life literally in this field for the last 30 years. 30 years he's put his life and research on the line. He's put his life on his line to give you nothing but the real. Never selling out, never doing anything unscrupulous, and always working his ass off to find the best, latest, greatest. He's been such an inspiration of mine, and I use discernment. I see a lot of people that know a lot of good things, and it just so happened, I didn't just choose him. It just
life chose us.
Life chose us to be together, and I'm so stoked to have you in front of my viewers, because we're in this thing together.
Absolutely.
All the way.
Some of you who are just joining us, we got quite a few people who joined us in late. We have been, oh, look at that, got a plane low and slow. We are going to Peru. And so I just wanted to drop that email. If you're interested, my first retreat to Peru, or it's actually the second one in timing and schedule, is actually sold out. So that one's gone. But the one we're doing is April 11th through April 20th. 2020. If you'd love to be a part of that, email us at journeyperu2020@gmail. Journeyperu2020@gmail. It'll be a journey of heart, soul, mind. It'll be a journey of emotion. It'll be an intellectual journey. It'll be a journey of your physical body. You'll be in such unbelievable shape over there because you're all suddenly at 3,000 meters altitude. Full on.
This is gonna be one for the record books.
Yeah.
And this will be the first. This is the first one.
This is the first one we're doing
together.
We've
retreated our whole life
together.
We've retreated our whole life.
We've gone to Peru together before, but we've never done a retreat together. So
this is the first time, and I'm going to open up my heart to every single person that's on that retreat. Anyone that's on that retreat is going to get full exposure of all of my heart, all of my essence. And if you know me and you follow me, you know I'm already doing that every day. It's going to be 100-fold. We're going all the way.
I do want to mention this too. Somebody's asking, how do you deprogram yourself? And that's a big part of what we do. One of the best ways to get on a cleanse with us, September 20th, dude. I don't know if you know this, but we're kicking off a cleanse. September 20th, end of the summer. Summer really officially ends in this latitude. We're not in Topanga, by the way. We're in Southern California and Escondido area. This is where all those great health gurus had their empires and their healing resorts, because the quality of the sunlight here, which is setting right now at this moment. This is like sun gaze moment now.
We're sun gazing right now.
Yeah, we should actually probably
put the
phones
live
there. And
should we give them a little glimpse of the sun gaze? Okay, here, hold on. You stay here. Let me just check the sun gaze.
Okay, check it out. Anyway, so we are going to be kicking off that cleanse on September 20th. And if you're wondering, like, hey,
let's bring the phones.
Should we do it? Okay.
Let's give them the sun gaze.
We're going to give you guys the sun gaze. September 20th is a good time to get going on a new life, which means you just start a cleanse slowly. We can inch you in. I've been doing this for 30 years, so I know how to guide you to a great cleanse. I'm going to actually, on the September 20th cleanse, I'm going to go for, as it ends, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go for a 21
there you go.
Fast. I feel like I got that in me. This is San Pedro right here that was gifted to us by Paul Check. And we were near Encinitas today, by the way. We're in Lucadia. Okay, should we...
Here, let's give them the sun gaze.
Okay, we're going to give you guys the sun gaze. Let's do this.
Here are the San Pedros. Here's a New Zealand apple.
Part of the day.
Look at that.
Oh, geez. Let's go out on the rock over here.
Let's do it. Let's go all the way.
Okay, so one of the very important ways to end the day... Oh, we don't have enough time.
But we got to do it here. We got to do it here.
There's the sun
right here.
Okay. One of the best ways to end this day is to be barefoot on stone.
Stand on one of these.
In the direction of the sun. And boom, there we go. So that's one of the most important directives every single day.
This is one of the most...
To say goodnight to the sun.
This is one of the most important aspects of DHA. So DHA accumulates into your retina, and DHA pulls photons into your retina and converts them into electrons. That's what sun gazing is all about. That's what charging your body's all about. Our bodies are solar panels. We basically have transport carriers from our synapses that go through our eyes. They're cones, which are built of DHA, and shoot into our system and charge every cell in our body. That's how our mitochondria get energy. It's so critical. Where is DHA made? It's made from algae, which is the core of the food web, which is the beginning point of photosynthesis.
And you got to think that algae don't have leaves to protect themselves like these trees do.
Correct.
They're getting blasted by the sun.
Yeah. So they had to have a
protection.
conversion process.
Yep. They got it. Oh, there we go.
Look at that, dude! Wow.
The last moment of the sun for the day.
Love you guys. We'll save these lives.
Yeah, we're gonna save this live.
We'll probably post them on a little YouTube.
I'll put it on YouTube. I'll put this out on YouTube. All right, maybe we'll go through some of these questions. Thank you guys for joining us for the sun gaze. I do want to go through some questions.
Love you guys so much.
We got
so much honor, so much respect.
So great. Thanks, you guys.
That was great.
Just going through to see if anybody got. Yeah, I still do NutriBullet and still love NutriBullet and big supporter of NutriBullet. I'm sending one to my friend Joseph. My friend Joseph Diamante.
So much love.
I met through Chef Miguel years ago. Is 21-0 in his professional boxing career.
He was here last night.
He was here last night. And I'm sending him a NutriBullet tomorrow. So I'm a big NutriBullet fan, of course, and still am, and still work with him. Okay, let's see. Flow Toronto, yes, got you guys, great.
Is that Flow Toronto?
Yeah.
All right.
Cordyceps Mustafa, connect with a Persian mycologist in the area. What's
Wait.
your father's name?
What did
Yeah.
you say?
Cordyceps Mustafa, look, right there, see?
Connect with the Persian mycologist in the area. Cordyceps Mustafa.
We're Persians, so just in case you didn't know.
Hey, Biggs.
Okay.
Some user
if
just
you're interested in
messaged.
Peru.
His
if
name
you're
is
interested in
Cordyceps
email us
Mustafa,
at
and he just wrote us and said,
Journey2020@gmail.
"Connect with
If you're
a
interested
local
in my new enzymes,
mycologist."
So I got to do one last little thing on my enzymes. I'm so excited about it. I got my
That just
first
happened
3
right now.
bottles last night when we got here with Joseph and that whole crew.
Absolutely, DHA is an integral part of telomere activation and telomere preservation. Absolutely, it's it's the core of structural binding that allows no waste, no isotopes, no radiation, no chemical waste, pesticides, any derivatives that shouldn't be in there. DHA is kind of the scaffolding of the cell. So it's like a barrier. So not only is it intrinsic to how we absorb light and function with light, but it's also a barrier. And I wanted to say something. There was a whole mess about people talking about polyunsaturated fatty acids being toxic. Polyunsaturated fatty acids that are toxic are oils that have gone rancid. Anything that's oxidized, olive oil, whatever it is, if you're eating oxidized oil, it's going to be bad for you. There's no argument in that. DHA, what we're creating with microalgae from Canada and Iceland, is the purest source, the most intact source. Game changer. Love you all so much. Thank you for being on the journey. This is the best life of all time. Peru is upon us. Hawaii is next week. Much love.